Hey there again. This is Marshall with another, I call it an episode of reflecting. And I had a good day. I didn't really work on myself that much, but I had a stream today, a 4 hour stream. Exercise, actually, I know, so it's been pretty positive. The exercising has been a way for me to get, a release. It's been very meditative like. And I think that's really how exercising should be for you. It should be enjoyable. I see a lot of people, and myself included, whenever I would go to the gym, I wasn't exactly enjoying my workout. And I really think that you should find a way to work out and really enjoy it. And the way that I sort of moved my routines towards is towards outdoor exercising, and I've been biking outside, and I've also been doing push-ups in the sun. As you can see, I've got a nice little bronze tone to me, and that's just one of the positive things. Getting the sunlight's very positive, and there's something about being in the sun and closing your eyes. I feel like it can almost open up your third eye immediately. It's really the most. It's been the closest way that I can see of opening my third eye, because I'm not really some sort of spiritual guru, but I can feel different whenever I'm in the sun, soaking in the sunlight and everything. Uh, During my stream, is funny. I thought about the video I did yesterday and how golf was a 5 inch game in between my ears. And the ironic part of that is I was golfing in the PGA Tour video game, and I started out really good. And the first night I played great. The second night I played good also. And then I switched to another event where I had those holes were almost meaningless really, because I had already had a bad score and I was going to make the cut. So now I'm into the next round. Well, actually, the next event, and I have to put in a good score to make the cut to play the second 2 rounds in my career mode. And I got absolutely destroyed. Every swing was slice this, slice that, left, and everything hit the sandpit. And there was something wrong with my angle I was taking, and that was kind of how my swing is. It generally, in golf itself, you have to take an angle to hit a good swing, but also in the game itself, you have to swing the joystick at an angle to be able to hit a good straight shot. And I wasn't doing it, and I couldn't figure it out. And I really, towards the end, I sort of figured it out a little bit, but it was almost like I was thinking about it too much. In the first 18, I didn't think about it at all, but I also was hitting it straight, so I don't really know exactly what it was. But I think it's really important that, I tried to change my angle, and I was really thinking about it. And I think that's a big problem. Is it's almost insane that we try these angles all the time, and we don't think about it, we don't reflect about it. And that's sort of what I did starting this video, is I wanted to bring in a little bit more energy than I did last video, and bring in a little bit more eye contact with the camera. And so far, it's been really, really going well. But when I saw last video, is I started to get more and more into what I was talking about, and I started to feel like my voice projection was better, and it was just a good vibe. And that brings me to another vibe, and that is Katy Perry's new song, "It's a Woman's World." And I just think of it as such a vibrant, positive song. It is kind of taking the angle that it's the woman's world, it's not really the man's world, which agree to disagree. But when you look at the whole spectrum, it's both of our world. But her vibrance in how she sings, and the vocals, and how the song really hits. it hits that spot that is, a controversial spot in time right now, which is, what a woman is. And so she really hit the nail on the head with this song, and she hit that market for all the women. And, you know, I just, the vocals, but also, I mean, it's so well done. The lyrics and everything, and they bring the right tone. You have this sort of ability whenever you're in the studio to make the voice louder or whatever, make the music, the background, less loud or whatever, change things up, and really produce something that's excellent, like what Katy Perry produced. And everyone can sort of do that themselves. And unfortunately, you can't just like alter it in the studio. I could alter this video to make myself sound louder, but I'm trying to do it myself, and I'm just really fully focused on it right now. And I also want to like sort of move into another controversial thing which just happened, which was the Trump assassination attempt, and it's really sad that it was to come to this young man believed that it was his right to try and alter history and another man's life, and actually end up ending another man's life. Really, the worst way you could go, ending someone's life, trying to take the potential president's life. And I'm looking at it from a full spectrum. I'm not really, I don't really want to get involved in politics. I've always tried to stay away from that, even though it sort of always comes back to you in a way. Especially, there's situations where people want to project what they think you believe, which is just a really crappy situation. If someone's projecting what they think you believe, that's just horrible, really. You feel like kind of defenseless and stuff like that. I would definitely recommend stepping away from people that try to, force an opinion on what you believe. Because if you're not an empowered person, that can really affect you. And that's really onto the same subject. Belief systems is something that I heard a lot about recently by some of these YouTubers. They're almost like mentors to me in a way, and they were talking about limiting beliefs and good beliefs. And I actually ended up making a list of limiting beliefs of myself. If I can't, I'm handicapped, I'm in a wheelchair. I don't know necessarily if I'm going to be able to win over the girl that I want. So that's a limiting belief that I have, and I sort of reframe that to believe that I can win over anybody I want if I take the right angle and everything. So the more you sort of tell yourself these things, the more you have them listed, the more you can sort of reflect on these beliefs and come back to them, the more you're going to have a nice foundation underneath you, especially whenever somebody tries to, affect your beliefs. You're kind of empowered, you kind of have a strong foundation. And another belief that a really strong belief I have is that my content creation is an extension to myself and my life, and I can use it to affect mankind, may it be one person at a time. And honestly, sometimes I would go to sleep and I think, could I really affect mankind, or could I really affect other people's lives? And that was sort of the reason why I got into doing content creation. I wanted to do something that affected people in a positive way. And the content creation I was doing, the gaming I did today, I don't know if it really affects people in the way that I want it to. Pardon me if there's some wind interruption here, but we've got a storm kind of coming in here, and I got a storm brewing inside me. But the the belief that you can affect other people's lives, that's a really strong one for me. And I want to gear my content towards that in the future. And I'd like to even be able to do that on a person-to-person basis whenever I socialize. You know, if I can offer that skill to people to sort of help improve their beliefs and everything, that'd be an awesome way to go about human interaction, really. I also want to touch on the spectrum of certain things. You know, everything sort of has its own spectrum. If it's political, there's a spectrum. One end you got Republican, one end you have Democrat in a way. Some areas maybe even beyond that. A lot of times people tell you. A lot of times people will exaggerate. Boy, we've got a nice breeze coming in here. Hopefully it doesn't knock my camera over. It was a hot day today too, so we might have a thunderstorm here. But the spectrum, people argue over where you are in a certain spectrum politically, and whether or not, like, on one end of the spectrum, I'm an amazing content creator. On the other end of the spectrum, I'm a newbie. You know, I'm sort of learning my ways. And so a lot of people try and let you know where you are in that spectrum, but it's really up to you to be the one that decides where you are and where you're going to be. I feel like one example is flat earthers. Well, actually, that's actually back to the belief system thing. I do want to get to this too. I'm bouncing around a little bit left and right, but flat earthers, it may seem like an opinion, but like to some flat earthers, but they're really only seeing one side of the spectrum, and that's the side of the spectrum that is it's just it's really only they could see. Like, behind me, you look behind me and you see that, yeah, the earth looks flat, you know? So does that mean it's flat? You know, I definitely would argue that is incorrect. You know, there's so many reasons why I think that's wrong. And I have to watch that. You know, this is a really tough one because I disagree with it so much. It would be hard at times to relate to somebody that's like that, but that should be one thing that I need to work on in a way. I think everybody needs to work on being able to understand what other people's beliefs are in a way, and be okay with it. Like, I don't think I need to change any flat earthers' minds. If I meet somebody that's a flat earther, I would hope that they'd have a great personality and everything, and I hope that wouldn't be something, you know, whenever we have that disagreement, you know, the earth's round, the earth's flat, when we have the disagreement, I don't think it should affect our interaction, really. I don't think there should be any animosity there. And if we have different beliefs like that, you better also hope that you have a good foundation to that belief, and base it off facts usually, or science in a way. And that's not against religion at all, but there's certain things that should and can be questioned, and that'll happen with time, and I'm not going to question those things now. But really, imagine what happens if you just one day get proven wrong about flat earth theory or whatever. All of a sudden, you go home and you're like, oh my gosh, the the world's not flat. What am I going to do? I've been telling everybody it's flat for a year now. I don't think this is a strong belief. That can be a tough time for somebody, whenever they sort of get their belief kind of shattered in a way. But if it's something that's really connected to you, a belief that's really connected to you, and you're trying to, help yourself or help other people, um, there's sort of a good foundation to that. You know, if you have religious beliefs and they sort of, create some almost honestly, even flat Earth is part of a religious belief too, in a way. But we've sort of gone away from that belief. But that doesn't destroy your religion, really. That, and I actually also wanted to talk about this too. Whatever religion you have to be able to accept other religious beliefs, and I like to embody that in a way, and I like to be able to study some other religions. In a way, I studied Catholicism growing up, and then after my accident that made me paraplegic, I studied Buddhism in a book called Think Like a Monk, which was an awesome book. I definitely recommend reading that. If you're kind of lost in any way, that's a great way to think about beliefs and stuff like that, and sort of gear yourself towards creating skills that sort of embody you to help the world and everything. And yeah, that's a great book. That was one of those books that I was just amazed afterwards reading it. Or it was just like there's this whole different way of thinking that I wasn't even exposed to. And so this is just really important, I think, to study the whole spectrum of things. And so whenever I study maybe the Quran in the future, I'm not sure how to say it, and understand the beliefs behind that, it may be very different than a lot of people's views on how religion should be. You kind of have that straight angle at how what you believe coincides with the religion, or a lot of people kind of embody that political party and have that straight angle. And I definitely think of myself more of a libertarian in politics, and more of like a free spirit in religion right now, and trying to pull together everything every positive thing I can find in each religion, because there's something each religion has to offer. And if you really seek the full spectrum, I think you're really rewarded in that way. And so recently I've been also studying and sort of absorbing the the perspective of social interaction and everything. And I did that a lot whenever I was out of college, and I'm sort of really interested in that. And another let me think here. On, on top of beliefs and having your strong foundation belief around your purpose and everything, it's really important, around things that you really love, because that's just a strong way to create that foundation. And those sort of love passions towards the beliefs it's really hard to disrupt those. As long as you think about, as long as you plan your beliefs in the right way, it's really hard to disrupt those. And I like to have some beliefs that I can carry with me my whole life. That might not exactly happen. It's kind of hard to do that, but I have some that I'd like to carry on for years, along with the content creation one. I really think that I can do things long term to change people's lives. Um, and finding that it's also back to what we were talking about, uh, exercising, and find a way that you love exercising. That is like, from what I learned from some YouTubers, is that is the height to, um, it's like the highest point of motivation is doing something that you really love. And there's other motivational things. Anger can sort of motivate people. It's not really that healthy. And that's basically the David Goggins example of motivation. He got really angry about things and sort of motivated himself towards through anger. And I think he sort of reached a love and passion for running and stuff like that. But you're not going to always be like, you're not going to be, a lot of people can't be like David Goggins and sort of embody that anger to help push themselves to do amazing feats of physical ability. But as long as you gear it towards love and purpose, your beliefs, you're gonna have a strong, solid setup. And that's been one of the most powerful takeaways I've gotten from watching social gurus, basically, and reassuring yourself in almost like a way that you can come back and reflect and look at your beliefs after doing something that you want to do, and know and remind yourself this is why you're doing things. And so, just a really good thing to, really healthy thing to do and journalize about. And this sort of video itself is sort of a journalization of mine, of what I've been experiencing over the past weeks and today. And I've been able to find little examples actually out of each day I do a video of something that sort of transfers, like the golfing and the leverage, or the changing the angle. But these beliefs also will help you leverage your life and improve your life, as long as you keep reflecting on them. And who knows where these beliefs can really take you, as long as you push yourself. And all of a sudden, the storm has subsided, the wind's gone, you can hear the birds chirping, and another day has passed where you can reflect and improve. And that'll always be a great day. I'm just going to wrap it up right there. Thank you so much for watching. Covered a lot of good stuff here today. Please subscribe and like the video. If it impacted you in a way, leave a comment. Let me know if this stuff is hitting somewhere in the heart, maybe, or in the mind. Let me know what you think. All right? Thanks for watching.